to Cut Daisies and Unicorns Trailer Tuesday. And I'm reminded, I just told Steve this, that I remember back in the 80s, like shows like Family Ties and Punky Brewster and some of those, like they were funny shows, but then when they were going to deal with serious topics, they would always like put out these trailers on a very special episode. We're going to, and then they fill in with whatever they're going to talk about, whether and so I feel like there is a part that I want to be able to tell you, listener, today that on this Trailer Tuesday we have a very special episode coming up on Thursday, where we are going to talk about some things that are emotional. And I just want to be able to prepare you to be able to think about. And, it's again the same thing that we talked about with the Fringe episode. Like if you're thinking about, I don't really want to deal with the Fringe, then you know where to skip. If you are wanting to ask a lot of questions on a soul level, Thursday's episode, you're not going to want to miss. Right, Steve?
It's true. We actually take time throughout the episode that's coming up on Thursday. Throughout the whole episode, we're bringing up questions that you may want to start the podcast, listen for the first question, take time to ponder. And then throughout the whole, I think there's at least 4 to 6 questions that we ask that are really great questions to consider. And quite frankly, it was so moving as we worked through it. I think this is going to be some work that I'm going to do personally. Just they were questions that we were asking and we were navigating it together. Right. But I'm going to write those questions down. We'll put them in the comment section notes, or in the notes of the episode, so that you can be able to get to them. Mm-hmm. But man, it's an hour's worth of just really good content. Mm-hmm. And if you really enjoy our voices and enjoy the stories that go around it, there's reflections. I get to talk about my hometown, Bad Axe, Michigan, a little bit. And so we'll have some of that. But then, just move to a place of really just raw emotion. Mm-hmm. We want to let people know, too, that in recognizing International Women's Month, that we are going to continue with that conversation. Right. And so in anticipation of what our publication will be, we just really, really want our listeners to know that it's our pursuit mm-hmm. To be able to get other voices other than our own, and yet give people an opportunity to take in just our thoughts and perspective on what we're navigating as we go through life.
Yeah, and I think it's, once again, it's important for us to gain perspective. And even as the premise of the podcast is, 2 guys flying through the universe collecting stories, is that, we're particularly going to focus on stories as well that don't come from our perspective. And that's the parts that we want to share. And the Phil and Steve editions are, it's coming from us.
Yeah. And
absolutely. So I think that's the balance then. You're hearing from us, you're hearing from, the things that are within us. And then when we get to interviews, you're hearing stories of other people. And I hope that you're hearing that, and I hope that you continue to engage in that.
Yeah. So as we prepare for the Thursday to come, just know that there are some great questions. And really what's beautiful in all of its beauty is we didn't even cover the whole of what we had planned to cover. I mean, we were all over the place.
We were.
Yeah. And so we've got multiple other things to springboard off of in Phil and Steve editions. And hopefully, too, this will give you another feel for, we're not only going to deal with the ridiculous. And so if you are looking for a place to direct your listening to, I would say that you should go to our episode on motion and stillness. If the deeper things, the pondering things are things that you're hungry for, right, instead of the fringe things and the unicornish things, then go to the episode Motion and Stillness, and I think that you'll really enjoy a listen on that. If you want to know, too, our heart and where we've come from, you could go to the Origins episode, and that will give you a good feel, too, for Cut Daisies and Unicorn.
Yeah, because they're always there. They're not going anywhere.
It's true. And you can pause, you can contemplate, you can take a look at it, you can listen, you can start a new journal and just be like, that's what we need to do.
Talk about journaling?
No, we just need we just need to make them available. Yeah. You know, those little, just get a notebook out and start scribbling down things that you're thinking about. And again, we would love audience engagement, whether it's on the Facebook page or through email. If you'd like to get a hold of us and start a conversation, we would love to do that. And just know that we're trying to combine the balance of what is current and relevant to the things that are unexplained, and just kind of gathering around and being able to consider these things.
Absolutely. So we look forward to that engagement.
Maybe that's the new hashtag. Consider the unicorn.
Hashtag. Consider the unicorn.
Yeah. So anyway, but the other thing is we want to thank you and just know that our hearts are fully grateful for the people who are already subscribed to the YouTube channel, and just encourage you to share that on whatever platform you'd like. Also know that you can follow in the Twitterverse, and
that one's at Daisy's Cut.
At Daisy's Cut.
Because Cut Daisies and Unicorns was too long for a name.
Yeah, well, it's sure a blast to type into Google. Cut Daisies and Unicorns. All right, cool. So that is the preface. I don't know. Do you think it's really a trigger alert? Should we tell people, hey, be careful?
I don't think yet. I mean, I just say it's special meaning because we get into we have a varied topics of both emotion and and then towards the end, we do mention some statistics on women. So
all right.
So no trigger yet, unless any mention of it triggers you.
Well, and you can let us know. And you're like, yeah, that was triggering. Okay. So it's not our goal to have people head into holes of solitude, but to lift people up into a life of exuberance.
Hashtag life of exuberance.
That should be fun. And when you hear the Thursday thing, then you understand.
It'll be fun.
It's a joke. All right. Thanks a lot, everybody.